is a rival, an enemy lurking in the shadows, an opponent waiting for your misstep, someone you must conquer to claim your place at the top, proving you're unmatched like no one before. No, rival is far more than that. A rival is a hidden gift, a relentless challenger who forces you to reach beyond your limits, to chase perfection, to find strength where you thought there was none, to turn the impossible into reality. It's the drive to compete, to etch your name into legend. Two brands from Japan, two legendary rally warriors, two iconic machines, bound by a rivalry that transcends time. This is the tale of an epic clash that has become folklore, the Subaru Impreza versus the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution. Back in the 80s, Japan was living its best life right after the post-World War II recovery. The mainland economy saw never-stopping growth that culminated right in the 80s with many different social developments, lifestyle changes, and industrial strengthening. Brands and manufacturers from fields like technology, food, transportation, and many more were establishing themselves as powerhouses, not only on a national level, but even breaking into the international scene. In the world of cars and motors, despite the general growth of several different iconic brands we still know today, there was one that imposed itself as the pinnacle of the Japanese automotive industry, as well as an international motorsport icon, Nissan. The Yokohama-based company implemented a marketing strategy that had already been widely used in the US. In previous years, summarized in a short, simple phrase, what wins on Sunday sells on Monday. And right in those years, there was a car that was winning and dominating all the racing series it participated in, the Skyline R32. What Nissan did was to boast about its racing activities and successes as a way to promote their street cars to the public, thereby increasing sales and profits. Everyone wanted a Skyline. Everyone wanted to drive the car that made its competitors tremble with its power. Everyone wanted to be a part of that success, because the Skyline wasn't just a car limited to racetracks, it was an icon that everyone could own privately. That was the real charm of this marketing strategy. Watching Nissan's success unfold, two manufacturers wanted to follow the same path, Subaru and Mitsubishi. The two Japanese brands weren't very active in the world of touring cars and racetrack-bred cars. What they were active in, however, was rally. Both companies wanted to craft an icon in motor racing, a car that could be looked at in the same way as the Skyline was seen by the masses. A machine designed to win the World Rally Championship and make inroads in the hearts of car enthusiasts. And so, the Subaru Impreza and the Lancer Evolution came to life. As mentioned before, Subaru and Mitsubishi were not new to rallying. Both manufacturers had a history of competition in the WRC with cars such as the Subaru Legacy RS Turbo or the Mitsubishi Starion 4-wheel drive and the Galant VR4. Despite being fairly famous names, those cars never achieved many great results in their long history of racing due to a lack of performance compared to lighter and more powerful cars such as Lancia and Toyota. That was the main issue for the two Japanese manufacturers. Their cars were too heavy, too large, and too slow. That's why the Impreza and the Evolution came to life to overcome those problems and reach the same level of performance as their competitors. Both manufacturers, despite being two separate brands, incredibly followed an almost identical path while building their models. Subaru recognized that a smaller, nimbler car would make a better platform for a rally car. The new Impreza was 160 mm shorter in overall length compared to the Legacy. It also had a more neutral front to rear weight ratio and even featured an active differential, the first for a rally car. Overall, it was a promising racer, thanks also to the 300 brake horsepower engine retained from the Legacy but improved with a new turbo intercooler and cylinder heads. With an overall weight of just 1,200 kg, it met the bare minimum required for Group A racing class eligibility. On the other side, Mitsubishi made more drastic changes to its new model. The Evolution was, in fact, 260 mm shorter in length than the Galant and shared an astonishing 200 kg thanks to an almost extreme weight reduction that involved the McPherson multi-link suspension system, a 20% more rigid chassis, and a complete removal of anti-vibration coating. Yet it retained the same engine as its predecessor, improved by just 10 brake horsepower, which brought it to an overall 260 brake horsepower. Nevertheless, both cars succeeded in their main targets, being agile, light, and most importantly, fast. From the very beginning, the two teams debuted their new models in 1993 in the World Rally Championship, and over time, slowly built a roster of excellent drivers such as Colin McRae, Tommi Mäkinen, Carlos Sainz, Kenneth Eriksson, and even Richard Burns. The two competitors with extremely similar and competitive cars. Paired with the greatest racing talents of that time, everyone could predict that an intense battle was ahead, but no one could foresee that this was just the beginning of a 30-year rivalry. The legend was just starting. Despite both teams debuting at nearly the same time, they took two divergent paths for their car development. Subaru debuted the Impreza just after 7 rounds of the 1993 season and made it their full-time car for their WRC program in 1994. The team proved to be just as competitive as the defending champion Toyota, fighting for the crown and even vastly dominating the 1995 season thanks to 5 wins out of 8 rounds in the hands of veteran Carlos Sainz and young talent Colin McRae. Subaru was already turning the playing field upside down thanks to an extremely fast car driven by 2 of the hottest names in the rally world at that time. The same couldn't be said for Mitsubishi. Despite being as competitive in raw pace as Subaru, the Rally Art branded team took 1993, 1994, and 1995 as learning seasons to quietly gather important data, resources, and build a solid roster of drivers. The team, in fact, participated in only 10 out of 23 rounds in 1993 and 1994 combined, while increasing their activity in 1995 by taking part in almost all the events of the season. That strategy granted them their upcoming success. Mitsubishi relied on a solid team slowly built over time with patience and dedication, comprising a fast and reliable car and an overall peaceful working environment. Subaru, on the other hand, faced several problems right from the beginning, especially when the real battle against Mitsubishi started in 1996. The team wasn't as solid as Mitsubishi for many reasons. The car was extremely fast, probably the fastest in the field, but most of the time it didn't even make it to the finish line due to poor reliability and inconsistency of the drivers, especially Colin McRae, famous for his make or break philosophy. All of this slowly started to trigger internal conflicts and even enmities between the 2 main drivers, which worsened over time and caused a duplication of effort for the ProDrive team. How did this affect the world title battle? Subaru, despite having more resources, often failed to meet expectations. Mitsubishi, with fewer resources, focused on Tommi Mäkinen. The Finnish driver was consistent and fast, finishing 6 podiums out of 9 rounds with 5 wins. He dominated the season, securing the driver's title with a round to spare. However, Mitsubishi didn't win the manufacturer title. With only Mäkinen as their full-time driver, they couldn't match Subaru's 2-driver team, which won by 79 points. Subaru won the manufacturer title but faded after 1997 as Toyota, Peugeot, and Mitsubishi dominated. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the legendary rivalry between Mitsubishi and Subaru, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more exciting motorsport stories. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.